that Manchester United need a centre-forward. Well, our reporter James Green is here to tell us if they're going to get one. And I guess from the news you broke in the last hour, they might.
They might do. They're definitely targeting a specific player and a certain player, and we understand that player is Benjamin Cesco, 22-year-old at RB Leipzig. I'm sure many of our viewers have heard me and other reporters mention his name throughout this summer. He's going to be a player we're going to be talking about for some time. But Man United targeting Benjamin Cesco as their number 1, number 9 target. Now, Director of Recruitment Christopher Vivell actually scouted him when he was 16 years old for RB Salzburg. So that's where the link is. That's where the focus is at the moment. Now, Manchester United had held talks with Aston Villa over a deal for Ollie Watkins. That's been another player of interest. I think the difference with Watkins and Cesco, although Cesco will be perhaps more expensive as a deal, Manchester United believe they could structure the payments of this deal that favour them more than what they would have to outlay for an Ollie Watkins. So that's why Ollie Watkins' deal might be difficult. Tentative interest in Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea. But again, the amount of that deal, the amount that Chelsea want for the player seems a bit too high for what Manchester United want to do. So Benjamin Cesco, number 1 target. Also understand that Cesco wants...
Then. If Cesco comes in, I know he said he wants to fight for his place, but can you see them having both of them there?
Yeah, definitely. Again, Højlund is young. He's still learning, especially in the Premier League, and that's not to say Cesco, he needs to get used to the Premier League as well. But the fact that he said that he wants Cesco, then he's going to start.
Well, one thing I would say is, there will be inevitable comparisons between Seško and Rasmus Højlund. But when Manchester United signed Rasmus Højlund, for a lot of money, has to be said 2 summers ago, Rasmus Højlund was going to a very different Manchester United team. When he made his Premier League debut against Brighton, the other attacking options was an injury-ravaged Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford didn't know his best position in that team. You had Alejandro Garnacho, who's just 19 years old as well, and Ahmad, who was quite young in that team as well. If Seško does join Manchester United, Højlund as well coming back into this team this season, you're backed up now by Brian Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Bruno Fernandes may be playing in a deeper position. So the situation both of these strikers would be playing in is completely different.
Now, and also when they played Bournemouth the other day, didn't they? And Areola was talking, and he said they're going to be a proper team this year, and they played some really good football, scored goals obviously, which is important. And even though Bournemouth have lost players, they're no pushover. They're still a good side, still got a very good manager. So it was good to see that. I think it's going to be a great Premier League this year. I can't wait for it, honestly.
So many good signings. He said it, Cesco. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Has completed his move to Bayern Munich. James, this is for a substantial amount of money for a 28-year-old.
It absolutely is, and even then, I don't think Liverpool really wanted to let him go. We've been reporting on the transfer shows throughout this summer that he was not for sale, and Liverpool made that clear to Bayern Munich and to Barcelona, but they've reluctantly accepted for a number of reasons. A, the fee, £65 million. They think that represents his market value, and when you consider the fact he wanted to leave, he's been exploring moves elsewhere. He's 28, and there was little chance of him signing a contract renewal with 2 years left in his contract. It does make a lot of sense, and Liverpool are making a profit of around £22 million on a player who's given them really good service over the course of 3.5 seasons. He first spoke about wanting to leave last summer, but Liverpool held firm. They wanted to assess their options in the market and what they had. They didn't sign any players last summer, aside from Federico Chiesa, but now with the players they've been able to bring in, it does make sense, and that fee is so significant. In fact, only 7 players over the age of 28 have commanded a higher fee. And there's some big players on that list. I think it's been a really good summer as well, it is worth saying, in terms of Liverpool and player sales. They've generated already, when this deal goes through, which it has today, more than £130 million when it comes to Diaz, Gerald Quansah, Kevin Kelleher and Trent Alexander-Arnold departing. And Darwin Núñez looks like he could be a player likely to depart. I think that's going to be more of a difficult situation whereby Liverpool are going to struggle to make a profit on him, because the deal they signed him on could reach £85 million if all the bonuses and add-ons were met. It feels like Liverpool would have to take a significant hit. But there is interest in him right now. AC Milan and Juventus. Napoli looked at him earlier on the window. They signed somebody else in that area of the pitch. But Darwin Núñez, you'd think his time is up at Liverpool, potentially. Been a really good summer so far for Liverpool, and it could get even better.
Yeah, really interesting development that Diaz has gone, considering Liverpool said just a few weeks ago, I was on this very show saying he is not for sale at any price.